Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So let's get started. Offer our Mangalacharan prayers and then we'll go ahead. Just give me 1 minute. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालय कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः आनंदलीलामय विग्रहाय हेमादिव्य छवि सुंदराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य ईश्वर। My humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas, Vanchakalpatrubhascha, Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vindiki Chai. Okay, so let's get started. We are right now in the 18th chapter of first canto, right? Now in this 18th chapter, we saw, actually in the previous chapter, we saw about how Parikshit Maharaj, he punishes at the same time he rewards Kali. So the entire chapter, we saw that how there was a conversation between the bull and the cow, and then Maharaj Parikshit approached the bull and the cow and he asked various questions. And also he asked about that, why do you think, what is the cause of your suffering? The bull didn't give the direct answer. And then we saw that how Advaitavadis would think that it's only Atmanam, our own self, is the cause of everything. Something that it's superhuman or some superhuman powers or some planets are the cause of our distress, or what, happiness and distress both. Something that it's karma, our own activities. Some say swabhava, our own nature is the cause. But then we also saw the main cause, that is the main understanding of the Vaishnavas, is that they think that actually no one can ascertain the cause. It's the mixture of all. It's the mixture of our own self, it's the mixture of our own activities, our own nature, and also the superhuman powers. So there is no point in ascertaining the cause of distress by any kind of argument. Rather, whatever has come, we have to face as the will of the Supreme Lord and then move forward. So Parikshit Maharaj was very much pleased with the reply of the bull, but then he consoles Dharma and he said that don't worry, whatever it is, you are the religion personified in the form of Dharma, and now you are standing only on one leg. But this Kali has broken all your legs and is now quarreling with you. So I will take care and then I will kill this Kali. As soon as Parikshit Maharaj said this, Kali immediately surrendered. He surrendered to Parikshit Maharaj, and Parikshit Maharaj, being very, very compassionate, didn't kill Kali, rather, he gave him the allowance to reside in his kingdom. Sudha Goswami says that actually Parikshit Maharaj was not afraid of Kali. We will see in today's session. But he said that, okay, you are allowed to prevail, because Parikshit Maharaj knew that this is the age of Kali. Anyway, Kali will come. But because he was a very powerful king, a Raj Rishi, he was not fearful of the presence of Kali in his kingdom. But anyways, Parikshit Maharaj, because Kali surrendered, he didn't kill him. Rather, he said, I'll give you 5 places to stay. Right? And that we have seen that what were the 5 places. The 4 places were definitely the 4 regulative principles. That the places where gambling happens, intoxication happens, illicit sex happens, or meat eating, slaughterhouses are there. In those places you can stay. Because Parikshit Maharaj was very well convinced that his citizens will not follow any of this, and therefore Kali will not be able to touch his kingdom. And that was the reason that Kali was not happy with all these 4 places, because Kali also knew that the citizens were very pious under the rule of Parikshit Maharaj. And therefore he asked for another place, and Parikshit Maharaj said, okay, I'll give you the 5th place also, and that is where the gold is. Now, gold, Prabhupada says, that is also used by the ladies as an ornament. So that's not the place where Kali resides, where unnecessary gold is accumulated. And that brings the falsity or intoxication or enmity or lust. Those places you can stay. So Kali was given these 5 places, and Kali agreed to stay finally, and Maharaj Parikshit then restored all the 3 other legs of bull. And there actually Sutta Goswami, not Sutta Goswami, but actually the chapter ends. But Sutta Goswami continued this. Okay? He continued, and that's what we will also see today. Let me share my screen. Safari, wait. I don't know what's opened here. Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't open in advance. Yeah. This is chapter 18 now. Maharaj Parikshit cursed by a Brahmana boy. So Suta Goswami, there when he said about all this, he then continued about what he has to say more about Parikshit Maharaj. So Suta Goswami said, Yo vai drauni astra viplastu na matur udare mritaha anugrahat bhagvata krishnaya adbhuta karmana. So Suta Goswami says, thus I have explained you, because these were the questions that were asked by all the sages of Naimisharanya. That, O Suta Goswami, please explain us about Maharaj Parikshit, his birth, his activities, and then why he didn't kill Kali, why he only punished him. So Suta Goswami, in summary, now will give the astonishing story of Parikshit Maharaj from his birth to attaining the Lord, and how the sages were also astonished to hear the punishment of Kali. So he'll give in summary everything, whatever he has spoken in last 3, 4, 5 chapters. So Suta Goswami says, Yo vai drauni astra viplushto na matur udare mritaha. Yo vai means one who was saved. Who is? That is Parikshit Maharaj. How he was burned. Viplushto means he was burned by Drauni Astra. Drauni means the son of Dronacharya, that is Ashwathama. How he was burned by the weapon that was shot by the son of Dronacharya. And at that time, where was he? Matur Udare. He was in the womb of his mother. So Parikshit Maharaj at that time was in the womb of his mother when Ashwathama shot an arrow, Brahmastra. Namritaha. But that Astra couldn't do anything to Parikshit Maharaj. Namrita, he didn't met death. He never met death. He was saved in the womb of Mother Uttara by our Lord Sri Krishna. So Sutta Goswami says, why he never met death? Namritaha, he never met death. Anugrahat Bhagavata, because he was saved by the Anugraha Shakti of Lord Sri Krishna. And what is the Anugraha Shakti? That is the mercy aspect. So he was saved because of the mercy of Lord Krishna. And Krishnaya Adbhuta Karmana, and that is the wonderful qualities of Lord Sri Krishna, that he comes and save his servants, his dearmost people who worship Krishna with unalloyed devotion. So Suta Goswami continues, Yo vai dronayastra viplashto namata rudare mrita anugrahat bhagavata. It's the mercy of Lord Sri Krishna, and that is the wonderful quality of Lord Sri Krishna. Krishna Adbhuta Karmana. Somebody can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sri Suta Goswami said, due to the mercy of personality of the Godhead, Sri Krishna, who acts wonderfully, Maharaj Parishit, though struck by the weapon of the son of Drona in his mother's womb, could not be burnt. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So he could not be burned. Prabhupada said in the purport, Shla Prabhupada ki jai, the sages of Naimisharanya became struck with wonder after hearing about the wonderful administration of Parikshit Maharaj, especially in reference of his punishing and the personality of Kali and making him completely unable to do any harm within the kingdom. Sutta Goswami was equally anxious to describe Parikshit Maharaj's wonderful birth and death, and this verse is stated by Sutta Goswami to increase the interest of the sages of Naimisharanya. Why to increase the interest? Because he still want to describe further about Parikshit Maharaj, how Parikshit Maharaj renounced his kingdom and finally attained to Bhagavad Dham. Right? And this was also the question. Remember, Sutta Goswami was asked this question also, that we want to know about the destination of Parikshit Maharaj. So In one sense, he said that I have already explained you whatever was needed. But also, he wants to further describe. So he just said that, okay, let me just quickly summarize what all I said in the previous few chapters. And this is the very good quality of a speaker also. The speaker should summarize, the entire thing that has been covered so that the right context is built in. Text 2. ब्रह्मकोपतिहित्यस्तु तक्षतत्प्राणविप्लवत् न सम्मोहरुभयात् भगवती अप्रतिश्रयः अर्पितशय. Sorry. So because Bhagavati Arpitashaya, Bhagavati means unto Lord Bhagavan. Arpita Shaya, he was, Ashaya refers to the consciousness. So because Parikshit Maharaj's consciousness was completely surrendered, arpana kar diya tha unhone. He arpita means to offer or to surrender. Because he surrendered his consciousness completely unto Lord Shri Krishna. Na sammo urubhayad. Urubhayad means the greatest fear could also not overwhelmed Parikshit Maharaj. Some moha means to get illusioned. Some moha means to get completely illusioned or overwhelmed. Sammohit karna, right? So the greatest fear could also not overwhelm Parikshit Maharaj because he was a surrendered soul unto Lord Shri Krishna. What was the greatest fear? Takshatat prana viplavat. That a snake bird takshak will come and he will take away the prana of Parikshit Maharaj. Why this takshak has to come and take away the prana of Parikshit Maharaj? Brahma kopitat yastu. Because of the curse that was given by an angry Brahmana. Brahma refers to Brahma, matlab means Brahmana. Kopatit means he because of his anger. Because of his anger, that boy has cursed Parikshit Maharaj. So just see that how Suta Goswami is leading to another aspect, that how Parikshit Maharaj, he knew that Takshak will come and take away his life because the Brahmana has cursed Parikshit Maharaj to die in 7 days by a snake bite. But even that was not able to overwhelm Parikshit Maharaj because he was a surrendered soul. So Suta Goswami is taking it to the next level because he wanted to instigate that interest in the devotees of Naimisharanya and the sages of Naimisharanya so that they can ask further about Parikshit Maharaj. That why that Brahmana has cursed, what was the reason, and how Takshak came. It's all this he wants them to again ask. Therefore, he brought up this point that our Parikshit Maharaj was not even fearful of that Takshak bird. Somebody can read translation.
Hare Krishna
Furthermore,
Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
thank you, Mataji. Furthermore, Maharaj Parikshit was always consciously surrendered to the personality of Godhead, and therefore he was neither afraid nor overwhelmed by fear due to a snake bird which was to bite him because of the fury of a Brahmana boy.
Thank you, Sonamni. So in the purport, Prabhupada is saying, a self-surrendered devotee of the Lord is called Narayana Parayana, one who takes 100% shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Narayan. Narayan Parayana, Krishna Parayana, a self-surrendered devotee of the Lord. Such a person is never afraid of any place or person, not even of death. So they are even not fearful of death. Why? Because for him nothing is as important as the Supreme Lord. He only wants service under the shelter of the Supreme Lord. He only wants service to the Supreme Lord. Whether it is hell or heaven, it doesn't matter. And thus he gives equal importance to heaven and hell. Narayana parasarve na kutaschana bibhyati. Sarga parvaga narteshu api tulyartha darshina. So this verse was actually spoken in the case of Chitraketu Maharaj. When Chitraketu Maharaj just passed one comment on Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva, being a friend, didn't take it seriously, but Mother Parvati was offended. And so she cursed Chitraketu Maharaj that you become a demon on the earth planet. And finally he came as Vritrasura. At that time, Lord Shiva told this to Parvati. It's unnecessary you have cursed. He is a great devotee. For him, it doesn't matter. Narayana parasarve na kutaschana bibhyati. They are never ever fearful. Swarga aparvagarga narkeshu. Whether they are sent in the heaven, they are sent on the earthly planet, or they are sent in the narakeshu, on the hellish planets. Apitulyartha darshina. For them, it's almost the same. So unnecessary you have cursed. So Prabhupada is also saying that for devotee, it doesn't matter. What they want is the only association of the Lord's pure devotees, unalloyed pure devotees. They only want to serve, no matter what. He knows well both heaven and hell, they are the creations of the Lord. And similarly, life and death are different conditions of existence that are created by the Lord. But in all conditions and in all circumstances, remembrance of Narayan is very essential. So this is the nature of a pure devotee. He is not shaken up by the circumstances that fall in the life of a devotee. He is not shaken up, no matter what. This is what surrenderance. Surrenderance doesn't mean that I will surrender only when the time is conducive, when everything goes happy-go-lucky around in my life, then I'll surrender. No. Surrender means no matter whatever happens in the life of a devotee, the devotee is not shaken, always steady in his her service, and always surrendered to the Lord and never forgets the Lord. In all conditions, in all circumstances, he remembers Lord Narayan. And that is Srila Rupa Goswami also says, Smartavyam Vishnu, Asatatam Vishnu, Vismartyo na Jatujat. That it always I should remember Krishna and should never forget Krishna. This is the thumb rule. No matter whatever happens, these circumstances will come and will go. But our surrenderance to Krishna should not be shaken up. The Narayan Parayana practiced this constantly. Maharaj Parikshit was such a pure devotee. He was wrongly cursed by an inexperienced son of a Brahmana. Prabhupada is writing, he was wrongly cursed. Now, that curse was not needed for Parikshit Maharaj. But he was cursed by an inexperienced son of a Brahmana who was under the influence of Kali. And Maharaj took this also to be sent by Narayan. This is the nature of a devotee. That whatever happens in her life, the devotee always thinks that this has been orchestrated by my Supreme Lord. So I will accept it. Willfully I will accept it because this has all been sanctioned by the Lord. See, we have discussed many times that not a blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Lord. So whatever is happening in our life, maybe because of Adi Bhauta Kalesha, Adi Bhautik Kalesha or Adhyatmik Kalesha, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, it has been sanctioned by the Supreme Lord. And this is how the devotee sees that there is a hand of the Supreme Lord behind everything. This is what is surrenderance, seeing the hand of my Lord. Yes, it may be happen with n number of reasons. Vaishnava doesn't go and look all for the reasons that why this thing is happening in my life, whether it is happiness or whether it is distress. But what he sees is that Krishna's hand is there, that Krishna has ultimately sanctioned. So, though he was wrongly cursed, but he took this as the will of the providence. He knew that Narayan, Lord Krishna, also saved him when he was burned in the womb of his mother. If he were to be killed by a snake bite, it would also take place by the will of the Lord. So, Krishna saved him. And now Krishna wants to kill him by a snake bite, so be it. We will see later that Parikshit Maharaj, Prabhupada talks about that Parikshit Maharaj has the capacity to counter curse that was given. But he didn't. He has this capability. But he didn't. He accepted, no, this is the will of my Supreme Lord. So he said that I was saved in the womb of my mother. At that time also I would have been killed. That Brahmastra was sent, I would have been burnt by the heat of that astra. But Lord Shri Krishna came and saved me. So I was saved at that time. So now if Takshak has to come and bite me and I have to die, so be it. Rakho bhi maro bhi jo ichha tohar, nitya das prati tuhadikar. That's the mood of a devotee. That, oh Lord, you have the full adhikar. You decide whether I have to live or I have to die. It doesn't matter. The devotee never goes against the will of the Lord. Anything sent by the God is a blessing for a devotee. A devotee should think that it's a blessing. Something has to make me realize in my life, and that's why such circumstances have happened. This is the mood of a devotee. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj was neither afraid of nor bewildered by such things. That is the sign of a pure devotee of the Lord. So, how beautiful is this purport that the entire philosophy of Krishna consciousness Prabhupada has summarized, that how a devotee should behave. See, a devotee can be a devotee when everything is very nice going on in one's life. The real test happens when some trigger point come or when some reversals comes in the life of a devotee. That is the real testing point. If we pass through that testing point, then yes, we have passed the exam. Most of us fail when certain reversals comes in our life. When some happiness comes and everything is going nice, we never question Krishna. Why? Why you are not giving me suffering? Why everything is going nice in my life? Do we ever question? No, we never question Krishna. Never ever. Never ever approach Krishna and say thank you that everything is going nice in my life. We have never been grateful. Or even if we are grateful, but we never question why you have chosen me for all this happiness, why I have all the luxury in the life, why my family is very nice to me, why my entire family is a devotee family, why my children are so good. We never question. The moment some reversal comes, why this thing is happening in my life? What I have done that I have to see this? All these questions come. But that is not the sign of a devotee. The sign of a devotee is that even if reversal comes, the devotee takes it as a blessing of Lord Shri Krishna. Some or the other thing that Krishna wants us to understand. See, good things and bad things, whatever happens in our life, gives us a lesson to learn. So they are anyways increasing our experience, our experience to face the world. No? So that is how it is very important to see everything as the will of the Lord. And that's the sign of a devotee. Text 3. Utsrijya sarvata sangam vignajita samstitihi vayasakir jaho yisho gangayam swam kevalam. So Sutta Goswami continues and say, Utsrijya sarvata sangam. Utsrijya means to give away. To give away what? To give away sarvata means everything. So Parikshit Maharaj, he renounced everything. As soon as he got this message that in 7 days Takshak, the snake bird, will come and will bite Parikshit Maharaj and he will be killed, Parikshit Maharaj at that moment only renounced everything and he gave up the association. He gave up the association of his family, of his children, of his kingdom. He gave up everything. Vijnajita samstitaha. And he sat at the banks of Ganga to understand what? To understand Ajita. Ajita. Vijnat Ajita. Ajita refers to the Supreme Lord. He wants to know samsthitihi. Samsthiti means he wants to realize, to understand the actual position of the Supreme Lord. That how, what is his actual position. And therefore, what he did, Vyasakir Jahu Shishyo, he surrendered unto the son of Vyasadev. Vyasa Sakir refers to the son of Vyasadev, that is Srila Sukadev Goswami. Jahu Shishyo, he surrendered to Srila Sukadev Goswami. He became his disciple. Gangayam Swam Kalevaram, and Kalevaram means his material body. He wants to give up his material body on the banks of river Ganga. Somebody can read the translation. Madhuramai Mataji, you were reading.
Krishna.
Okay, go ahead, Parambhava.
Krishna Mataji Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Therefore, after leaving all his associates, the king surrendered himself as a disciple to the son of Vyasa, Sukadeva Goswami, and thus he was able to understand the actual position of the personality of Godhead, and at last gave up his material body on the bank of the Ganges. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So he want to understand the actual position of the personality of Godhead, and that is what is written. Vijnajita samstitihi. Samstiti means he wants to understand about, he wants to realize the Supreme Lord, and therefore Ajita refers to the Supreme Lord, and therefore he sat on the bank of river Ganga to give up his body. Prabhupada writes, the word Ajita is very significant here. The personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, is known as Ajita or unconquerable, and he is so in every respect. No one can know his actual position. He is unconquerable by knowledge also. So he is unconquerable by all means, and therefore he is known as Ajita. We have heard about his dham or place, his eternal Golok Vrindavan, but there are many scholars who interpret this abode in different ways. And by the grace of the spiritual master like Srila Sukadev Goswami, unto whom the king gave himself up to as the most humble disciple, one is able to understand the actual position of Lord, his eternal abode, and his transcendental paraphernalia in that dham or abode. Knowing the transcendental position of the Lord and the transcendental method by which one can approach that transcendental dham, the king was confident about his ultimate destination. And by knowing this, he could leave aside everything material, even his own body, without any attachment, difficulty of attachment. This is what is known as param drishta nivartade, that one can give up all connection with material attachment when one is able to see param or the supreme quality of things. So this is what Prabhupada is saying, that how we can understand the Supreme Lord's dham, his eternal abode, his message or his transcendental dham, that all one can understand only one who surrendered unto the spiritual master. Krishna himself says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvata tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sarjuna. That, O Arjuna, my transcendental qualities and my pastimes, my birth, my appearance, my activities, they are all transcendental. And they are divyam. Right? One who understands all this, Then tyaktva deham punarjanma. Then as soon as one leaves this body, he doesn't get another body. He goes with one-way ticket. Naiti mameti, so Arjuna. He doesn't come back to this material abode. But how we can understand this material abode? Only when we surrender unto the Supreme Spiritual Master. Why so? Because the Spiritual Master is a representative of Lord Shri Krishna. He knows, he is a Tattva-darshina. So one who is a Tattva-darshina can guide us on this Tattva. One who doesn't know anything about Lord Shri Krishna, how he can guide us? So the mundane philosophers, scholars, they know nothing about Lord Shri Krishna, but still they have the audacity to translate or comment on Bhagavad Gita. So will that commentary help us? No, that won't. But a devotee of Lord Shri Krishna, who is 100% realized, who is Tattvadarshina, if he comments or he says anything, then he is saying out of his own realization. So when we hear those realizations of the spiritual master, then that will transform our heart, and then all these things will be revealed to us. Narottam Das Thakur also sings in Shri Guru Charana Padma that Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito, that it's only by the mercy of the spiritual master that when one surrenders unto him, then this transcendental knowledge will be revealed. Otherwise, Krishna himself is saying that I am a Jita. Even by knowledge you cannot know me. Right? But when surrenders unto spiritual master, then all this knowledge is revealed in the heart of the devotee. And Prabhupada says that in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Param Drishtva Nivartate. What is Param Drishtva Nivartate? That we go for the higher taste. We give up the lower taste. And that's what Parikshit Maharaj did. This body, the attachment to this body, the attachment to our family, relatives, possessions, these are all lower taste. One should give up all these lower taste and look for Param, look for the higher taste. Param Drishtva Nivartate. Giving up all the material attachments, unable to see the param or the spiritual quality of things. From Bhagavad Gita, we understand the quality of Lord's energies, that it is superior to the material quality of energy. And by the grace of a bona fide spiritual master like Sukdev Goswami, it is quite possible to know everything of the superior energy of the Lord. By the grace of Lord Shri Krishna, Parikshit Maharaj was able to receive this mercy because of the personality as Sukdev Goswami, and thus he was able to know the actual position of the unconquerable Lord. Otherwise, it is very difficult to find the Lord from the Vedic literatures, but it is very easy to know him by the mercy of a liberated devotee like Sukdev Goswami. That is Shabda Praman. When we hear from a bona fide source, then that is the right understanding, that is the right hearing. Text 4. Very, very beautiful verse, text 4. Important verse also. I don't know whether this is a memorizing verse or not for this section. You can check. But even if it is not, it is very beautiful if we try to memorize. Nauttama shloka vartaman Jushtam tat kathamritam syat sambhramanta kalepi samarthan tat padambujam. So one who is remembering, smarata means to remember. To remember whom? The tat padambujam, the lotus feet of that Supreme Lord. Syat sambhramanta kalepi. Then one who has surrendered at the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, then and remembers Syat Sambhramano Antakalepi, that person at the fag end of his life, at the end of his life, will have no misconception. No, here comes. No, never he will be bewildered. Never he will have any misconception at the end of his life. And then Jushtam Tat Kathamritam, because he's always engaged in hearing Katha, in hearing Hari Kathamritam, in hearing the transcendental topics of Lord Shri Krishna. So that Hari is mentioned in the first verse, Uttama Shloka Vartana. Uttama Shloka is another name of Lord Shri Krishna. He is referred to as Uttama Shloka. Why? Because the choicest of shlokas are used in describing about the Supreme Lord. Another meaning of Uttama Shloka is that any shloka that describes the beauty or the quality or the pastime of the Lord, that itself is Uttama Shloka. So both the meanings is there. But Uttama Shloka refers to the Supreme Lord. Vartana means one who live. Just like the fish cannot survive without water, even the pure devotees of the Lord cannot survive without hearing Krishna Katha. Nattama shloka vartananam. Jushtam tat kathamritam. So anybody who is always engaged in hearing, their life and soul is Krishna Katha, and they are always engaged in hearing the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Na syat sambhramantakaalepi. Then they have no misconception at the end of their life. Why? Because the whole life they have spent, smaratam tat padambujam, the whole life they have spent in remembering Lord Shri Krishna's lotus feet. So they have no misconception. Somebody can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I can read.
Yeah.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This was so because those who have dedicated their lives to the transcendental topics of the personality of Godhead, of whom the Vedic hymns sing, and who are constantly engaged in remembering the lotus feet of the Lord, do not run the risk of having misconceptions even at the last moment of their lives. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Madhurai Mataji. They do not run the risk of having misconceptions that, oh, the whole life I have practiced. Now, whatever happens at the time of death, the devotee is not fearful. He doesn't have any doubt, no samshaya, no misconception is there in his heart, because it's like a child who has prepared entire year for the final exam. Will that child will have any difficulty to appear that exam? No, he is very confident. Kahin se bhi aa jaye, from wherever the paper can come, because he has studied well in the entire year. So the child is not afraid of the final exam. Who is afraid of the final exam? One who has thoroughly not prepared for the entire year. Then just do the last minute study. That child will be fearful for entering the exam. But one who is always engaged in studying the entire year the child has spent, naturally the child will have no fear in appearing for that exam. Similar is the case of a devotee. If the entire life that devotee has spent nicely and in the service of Lord Shri Krishna, by hearing Krishna Katha, by engaging in his devotional service, then definitely that child will have no problem at all. Whether the fag end of the life he will be able to remember Krishna or not. Because he knows that even if I am not able to, my Krishna will take care. My Krishna will take care because the whole life I've spent in his service. King Kulashekar Alvar also says a very beautiful verse in this respect. Krishna tvadiya pada pankaja panjadantam advaiva me vishato manasa rajhamsa prana prayana samay. My prana at the pranaya samay means at the end of my life may be engrossed with kapha vata pitta kathavrodhuna vidhau smaratam kutaste. But he says that, oh, my Supreme Lord, right now I am remembering you. Let my mind be ever there at the lotus feet of your lotus feet. Because I don't know what will happen in the fag end. Maybe my throat be choked up with mucus, bile, or air, with kapha vat pit. But whatever I have done in my entire life, you know, and you can take it as, you can record it. Because Krishna says, Antakale Mamepi Smaran Muktva Kalevaram, that one has to remember at the fag end of life. But here, because the entire life has been spent in Smaratam Tat Padambujam, the devotee is never fearful. So this Sutta Goswami is saying in the case of Parikshit Maharaj, because the entire life Parikshit Maharaj has spent in the service of the Supreme Lord. So he was not fearful what will happen at the end of his life. And that's how the devotee should be. Okay. Fifth verse, we'll continue. Tavat kalerna prabhavet pravishtopiha sarvata yavad isho mahan urvyam Abhimanyava Ekarat. Abhimanyava Ekarat. Abhimanyava means the son of Abhimanyu. He was the one emperor because he was enthroned by the Pandavas when the Pandavas retired. So he was enthroned. Tavat, as long as Kalir na prabhavet. So Kalir का कोई प्रभाव नहीं होता, means the personality Kali cannot flourish. Pravishtopi sarvata. Though he has entered the kingdom of Parikshit Maharaj, but it cannot flourish. It cannot survive long. It cannot show his influence on the citizens till the time Yavat. The Tavat and Yavad means yes, so long Kali is there. Kali has entered the kingdom of Parikshit Maharaj. But the Kali will not be able to show his influence. Yavad, till that time when Abhimanyava, when the son of Abhimanyu, Parikshit Maharaj, is the one emperor, is the Lord and is very great and is very powerful. So till the time Parikshit Maharaj, who is the son of Abhimanyu, who is very strong, who is very great, who is very powerful, till the time he is ruling, till that time Parikshit Kali will have no influence on the citizens of Parikshit Maharaj. No influence at all. Though he has entered, this is his age. He has entered in that kingdom. He has entered into that age. But he will not show any influence because Parikshit Maharaj is there. So the Kali cannot flourish. Somebody can read translation.
Translation Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As long as the great powerful son of Abhimanyu remains the emperor of the world, there is no chance that the personality of Kali will flourish.
Thank you, Tulsika. So this is the words that actually Sutta Goswami is telling when Parikshit Maharaj punished Kali and rewarded Kali. Punished because he said that because Kali surrendered, Parikshit Maharaj didn't kill Kali. And he said, okay, fine, if you want, you can stay in my kingdom. Because Parikshit Maharaj was very confident that till the time he is ruling, this Kali will have no influence on his kingdom. So this is the situation that Sutta Goswami is describing after Parikshit Maharaj, he punished Kali. So what was the situation? That as long as Abhimanyu is there as an emperor of the world, as a lord, he is the master, there is no chance that personality of Kali will flourish. Prabhupada writes in the purport, as we have already explained, that personality of Kali has entered the jurisdiction of this earth long ago. Long ago, why? As soon as Lord Shri Krishna left. He was looking for an opportunity to spread his influence all over the world. But he could not do so satisfactorily due to the presence of Maharaj Parikshit. And that is the way of good government. The disturbing elements like the personality of Kali will always try to extend their nefarious activities, but it is the duty of the able state to check them by all means. Although Maharaj Parikshit allotted places for the personality of Kali, but at the same time he gave no chance for the citizens to be swayed away by the personality of Kali. So he was very confident that in my state, in my area, this Kali will not be able to flourish, though he has entered. And he has entered in the jurisdiction of the earth long ago, when Lord Shri Krishna left. Yasmin ahani yarhaveva bhagavan utsrajagam tadaiva tadaivehanuvrato sav adharma prabhava Kali. So now in the next, he is answering that when actually Kali entered, Yasmin ahani yarhi eva, at that day, at that very moment. Ahani means that very day. Yarhi means on that very moment. Kali entered. What was that moment? Bhagavan Utsarjagam. When the Supreme Lord, he left. He left what? Earth. Gam means earth. He left aside. He left this earth. He left this earth planet. As soon as the Supreme Lord, Lord Shri Krishna, left, Kali entered. Tadaiva, at that time, followed what? Adharma. Irreligion accelerated in the area, and Kali entered. The personality of quarrel, the Kali Yuga, it entered following that time when Lord Shri Krishna left. Somebody can read the translation.
Rakshamataji, the very day and moment the personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, left this earth, the personality of Gali, who promotes all kinds of irreligious activities, came into this world. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Prabhu. So this verse describes the entrance of Kali. That what was the time when Kali entered is when Lord Shri Krishna left this earth. Dwapar Yuga ended and Kali Yuga started. Prabhupada writes in the purport, the personality of Godhead and his holy name qualities, they are all identical. Abhinnatvam nam namino. The personality of Kali was not able to enter the jurisdiction of the earth due to the presence of Lord Shri Krishna. But similarly, if there is an arrangement for the constant chanting of the holy name qualities, etc., there is no chance at all that personality of Kali to enter. So even though we are in Kali Yuga, but if we are chanting or engaging in chanting of Krishna's holy name, there is no way that Kali can enter. That is, Prabhupada is saying, is the technique of driving away the personality of Kali from the world. Engage in Krishna's service, in devotional service, and engage yourself in chanting. Then, of course, there is no way that Kali can enter. In modernized human society, there are great advancement of material science, and they have invented radio to distribute sound in the air. Now, with that radio, what is happening? The mundane songs are going on. So instead of vibrating some nuisance, the sound of sense enjoyment, if the state arranges to distribute transcendental sound by resounding the holy name, fame, and activities of the Lord, as they are authorized in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, then a favorable condition will be created and the principle of religion in the world will be re-established. And thus the executive heads who are so anxious to drive away the corruption from the world, they will also be successful. So the last line Prabhupada very beautifully says, nothing is bad if properly used for the service of the Lord. So even these great advancement of material science, like inventing the radio, and now we know so many gadgets are there, nothing is wrong. This laptop we are using for this Zoom, and what are we doing? We are doing Hari Katha. Some devotees may use, some people can use, materialistic people can use the same laptop for some sense enjoyment or some discussing mundane katha, some gramya katha. But we are using it in Krishna service. We are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. So technology is not wrong, gadgets are not wrong, material advancement is not wrong, provided it is used for the service of the Lord. And this is what is known as Yukta Vairagya. Anasaktasya Vishayam Yathartham Yunjatam Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Uchyate. So Anasaktas Vishayam, one has to be detached from the material body, from the material objects like wealth and followers. But it has to be used. Even if it is there, that has to be used. That intense desire should be used to use these objects in Krishna's service. If those objects help us to flourish in our own bhakti, then those advancement is not wrong. Yukta Vairagya Muchyate. And that is what is Yukta Vairagya, using everything in Krishna's service. But at the same time, Anasakta Vishayam. At the same time, not getting attached to those objects. We are attached to our things, our possessions, because we think that they are ours. But if we use them in Krishna's service, then it belongs to Krishna. Then it doesn't matter. And that is the very highest principle that Srila Rupa Goswami discussed in Nectar of Devotion in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. People these days, they buy 5-bedroom individual home, or they have the luxurious car in the name of Yukta Vairagya. That is not Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya, first principle is Anasaktasya Vishayam, that we should have no attachment to all these. Tomorrow, if something happens to my car, tomorrow, if something happens to my home, so be it. Anyways, it was used in Krishna's service. But what we do, we take it, we have full attachment with those objects, but at the same time, we name it. Oh, it is for devotees, it is for Krishna. Krishna can use it. Just remembered that once His Holiness Gaur Gobind Maharaj was there in one of the katha, and he was giving that katha. And in one of the class, he was in the home of some devotee. And then he called out that devotee. So, this is your home? And person was totally bewildered. He cannot say yes, he cannot say no. So, he says, no, Maharaj, this is Krishna's home. Okay, so this is Krishna's home. Get out from here. Right now, I'm ordering you. You just get out from this house. And he was shocked. He said, you said that this is Krishna's home. This doesn't belong to you. So I, being a representative of Krishna, is saying, you just get out of this home. And he then started laughing. Gaur Gobind Maharaj, His Holiness Gaur Gobind Maharaj started laughing. And he says, mukhe bole. Means it's the lip service that you were doing, that this is Krishna's home. Actually, it's your home. You have full attachment to this home. Otherwise, immediately you would have got out. Get out from this home, right? But you didn't, because it was just a lip service. And that's what we devotees do. We buy everything for our own pleasure and we name it, oh, this is for Krishna, this is for Vaishnavas. I got this luxurious car so that it can be used in Vaishnava service. Are say the truth na, what is the point? But unnecessary, don't do the lip service. Right? So, but Prabhupada is saying that nothing is bad, provided if it is properly used for the service of the Lord. Text 7. Nanu drishti kalam samrat saranga eva sarabhuk kushalanti ashu siddhanti netrani kratani yat. Now, why Parikshit Maharaj was not bewildered? He said that Parikshit Maharaj, as long as he was the emperor, there is no chance for the personality of Kali will flourish. So Suta Goswami is continuing that why Parikshit Maharaj was not fearful of the presence of Kali. He didn't envy Kali. Nanu dveshasti Kalim Samrat. The emperor Parikshit Maharaj didn't have any dvesha or any enviousness towards Kali. Why? Because he was saranga eva sarabhuk. He was very realistic. He was like a bee. What does a bee do? Bee goes to the flower and suck only the nectar. The bee is not, it doesn't matter for the bee to which flower the bee is going, because the bee has only one pointed attention to suck the nectar from that flower. So similarly, our Parikshit Maharaj, he was also looking for the sar, the essence of Kali. And what is the essence of Kali? He says that this Kali will anyways not have any influence on my citizens, because I am seeing only the essence of that Kali. And the essence of that Kali is Kushlanti Ashu Siddhyanti. That any auspiciousness, if we think, kisi ki kushalta means some auspicious things, even if it is there in the mind, it will yield results immediately. Ashu siddhyanti. It will immediately results. वो immediately सिद्ध हो जाता है. Means the perfection is attained. Like if I think that I will give this charity to such and such temple, even that thinking will yield results. Netrani kritani cha. And he knows that anything inauspicious, but it has to be done. It has to be acted upon. The inauspicious things, if I think, will not have any results. In the inauspicious things. Something bad, if I think about somebody, will not impact me. That's the blessing of Kali. In the previous yugas, even if somebody thinks bad about somebody else, immediately the results are there. But in Kali, this is the benediction, this is the blessing that whatever auspiciousness we have, we think, even if in our thought process, if we have any auspiciousness, it will immediately result, it will immediately yield results. But for inauspiciousness things, it has to be performed, it has to be acted upon, only then it will yield results. Somebody can read translation.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj was a realist, like the bees who only accept the essence of a flower. He knew perfectly well that in this age of Kali, auspicious things produce good effects immediately, whereas inauspicious acts must be actually performed to render effects. So he was never envious of the personality of Kali. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Lalita Mataji. Good to hear your voice. So he was very realistic. Maharaj Parikshit was very realistic. He took the essence, just like a bee takes the essence, that auspicious things produce good effects immediately in Kali Yuga. But for inauspicious effects, the activity must have to be performed. And he was very confident that his citizens will not perform any inauspicious activity. And if they will not perform any inauspicious activity, the influence of Kali would not be there. Right? So, in continuation, Prabhupada writes, the age of Kali is called the fallen age. And in this fallen age, because the living beings are in this awkward position, the Supreme Lord has given special facilities to them. So, the age is awkward, but at the same time, special facility is given. So, by the will of the Lord, a living being does not become a victim of a sinful act until the act is performed. In other ages, simply by thinking of performing a sinful act, one used to become a victim of that act. And on the contrary, a living being in this age of Kali is awarded with the results of pious acts simply by thinking of it. Maharaj Parikshit, being the most learned and experienced king by the grace of the Lord, was not unnecessarily envious of Parikshit, of personality of Kali, because he did not intend to give him any chance to perform any sinful act. He promoted his subjects from falling prey to the sinful acts of the age of Kali, and at the same time he gave full facility to the age of Kali by allotting him some particular places. So that is why he didn't kill Kali, because he was very confident that why I should unnecessarily kill him. If he has surrendered unto me, if he has realized his mistake, it's okay, let him stay. Because anyways, my citizens will not do any activity, because for activity, for the Kali has to act. For Kali to act, somebody has to perform that activity. Only then the Kali will act. What are the 5 places? The 4 places that Parikshit Maharaj has given is intoxication, is illicit sex, is gambling, is meat eating. If my citizens will not do all these 4, then the influence of Kali won't be there. So he was very confident that unnecessary, why I should kill him. Let him stay, and I will somehow train my citizens not to perform on these inauspicious activities, and the influence of Kali won't be there. Okay. Now, this is also important line when Prabhupada says that when somebody is in this age of fallen age, the living entities, they are in awkward position because this age is not a good age. This Kali Yuga is definitely not good, but some facilities are being given. And this is what happens for our human form of life. Human form, any form in this world, any species we are in this world, it's not good. Right? Everything has to end. We are not eternal. We are not Sanatan. We are all temporary. But out of all those 8,400,000 species, they are all bad. They are all not good to be in. We are not supposed to be in this material world. That's not our constitutional position. But out of 8,400,000, it's better to be a human being. Even though the laws of karma doesn't act on others, but it acts on us, on human beings. In one sense, it looks like, oh, other species doesn't have to bear any karma. Why humans have to bear? So it's also not good. Yes, it's not good, but at the same time, understand that the law of karmas is acting on humans, which also give us the facility so that we can improve our karmas. You're getting my point? Like a tiger. Tiger will only act as per his karmic reactions. The tiger doesn't have a facility so that he can change his karma. He cannot. Right? And other species also. But it's only in the human form of life that we have been given this facility that we can change our karma. We can think of changing of our karma. We can do some devotional activities by which we can change our karmas. So it goes hand like just like the age is not good, but the age is given this special facility. And what is that special facility? That if any auspicious thing we just think of, we will get the results. But in auspicious thing, we have to literally perform. Only then we will be entitled to get the results. And Parikshit Maharaj was very confident that in my age, people will not act wrongly, and therefore this Kali will not affect. And we know from Bhagavatam also that what is the special facility given to this age of Kali? Kalir doshe nidhi rajan asti eko mahan guna. There is one mahagun in this age of Kali. Kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param vijit. That as soon as one engage in simply in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one become purified of all the material contamination. This facility was not given in other yogas. In other yogas, they have to perform very cumbersome things to become self-realized, like meditation in Satya Yoga, and worship in Dwapar Yoga, and sacrifices in Treta Yoga. But in Kali Yoga, only chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is enough for one to become purified of all the material contamination. Mukta Sangha Param Vrajet. And one can return home back to Godhead. So he protected his subjects from falling prey to the sinful acts of this age of Kali, and at the same time he gave full facility to the age of Kali by allotting him certain places. And the end of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that even though all nefarious activities of the personality of Kali are present, there is a great advantage. And what is that great advantage? That Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Paramvrajit. One can attain salvation simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. And thus Maharaj Parikshit made an organized effort to propagate the chanting of the holy name, and thus he saved his citizens from the clutches of Maya. Prabhupada says that in the Vedas also it is said by discourse on Lord Shri Krishna's activities that one can get rid of all disadvantages of the Kali. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that by the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Lord becomes at once arrested within one's heart. Right in the Mangalacharan verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is being mentioned. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim va Parerishvara Sadyo Hridde Avaradute Atra Kriti Shishrubhi Stakshanat. That at very that moment when somebody, as soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimva Paririshvara. What is the need of any other scripture? When somebody hears submissively the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Lord is established within its heart. Immediately. Tatshanat. Then what is the use? So here also he is saying the Supreme Lord becomes at once arrested within his heart. There are some of the great advantages of this age of Kali. And Maharaj Parikshit, being a bee, just want to suck the nectar of the flower. So he took all the advantages of this age of Kali and did not think any ill of the age of Kali, true to this Vaishnavite cult. He didn't kill and he accepted. Text 8. Kim na baleshu shurena kalina dhira bhiruna apramatah paramiteshu yovriko nrishu vartate. Somebody can read the translation.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Oh, Mataji, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead,
Mataji.
Nishani Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Mm.
Maharaj Parikshit considered that less intelligent men might find the personality of Kali to be very powerful, but that those who are self controlled would have nothing to fear. The king was powerful like a tiger and took care of the foolish and careless persons. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Nishani. So the king was like the Kali was actually like, what he says? The king. The king was like powerful like a tiger, and he took care of all the foolish and careless persons. Baleshu Surana Kalina Dhira Bhiruna. Those who are dhira, those who are self-controlled, Kali cannot act on them. Apramataha Parmateshu. One who is careful, yo vriksho nishu vartate. Because he is actually, see, Jiva Goswami, he mentions that though Kali is very powerful, yes, but he cannot harm the innocent people because Kali himself is afraid of his pure devotees. Kali is afraid of the pure devotees of the Lord. So thus he cannot harm. So he's saying, Kim nu baleshu surena. What was there a disturbance? What is the disturbance that is being created to the foolish people by this age of Kali? There was none, because he himself is fearful of devotees. And that too, when personality like Parikshit Maharaj is there, who is like a tiger among men. The king was very powerful like a tiger, and he took care for the foolish, careless persons. So those who are not devotees of the Lord, they are careless and they are unintelligent. Unless one is thoroughly intelligent, one cannot be a devotee of the Lord. Those who are not devotees of the Lord, they fall prey to the actions of Kali because they will indulge in all its inauspicious activities. It will not be possible to bring about a saner condition in society unless we are prepared to accept the modes of action adopted by Parikshit Maharaj. And that is what? The propagation of devotional service to the Lord to the common man. So that is important. As soon as we are in this devotional service, the effect of Kali won't be there. So unnecessary, there is no point in getting any kind of animosity or ill towards this age. And that is the reason Parikshit didn't kill him, but punished him. We'll see one more verse. Upavarniname tatvaha punyam parikshata maya vasudev kathopetam akyanam yad apricchata. So now Sutta Goswami, he is now ending this. He is saying that Upavarninam, I have described everything. Varnan kar diya maine. About whom? Punyam parikshatam. About the pious Parikshit Maharaj. Maya means by me. I have described everything that you have asked about this pious Parikshit Maharaj, who was Vasudeva Kathopetam. Because all these narrations were all about Vasudev. These were in connection with Lord Vasudev. Upeta means in connection. This entire katha that I have narrated, Sutta Goswami is saying, it's in connection with Lord Vasudev. Akhyanam, and therefore I have described Yad Aprachata. As you have asked from me, I have described the entire katha of Parikshit Maharaj because it was in connection with Lord Shri Krishna. Remember when these sages, when they asked this question, that what is the reason why Parikshit didn't kill Kali, why only punished him? Immediately the next point was that, O Sutta Goswami, if you think that this is in relation with Lord Shri Krishna, only then answer. Otherwise, we are not we are okay. We don't want any answer. But if it is in relation with Krishna Katha, only then you answer. So to that, Sutta Goswami is saying that I have narrated everything, whatever you want, because this is in Lord's connection with the history of this pious Parikshit Maharaj. Somebody can read translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Oh, go ahead, Mataji.
Anybody?
Oh, sages, as you did ask me, now I have described almost everything regarding the narrations about Lord Krishna in connection with the history of the pious Maharaj culture.
Thank you, Divyangi Mantar. So he says that I have described you. Now, Srimad Bhagavatam is the history of the activities of the Lord. And the activities of the Lord are performed in relation with the devotees of the Lord. So this is what Srimad Bhagavatam. You cannot glorify Lord Ramachandra if you don't bring in the topic of Hanuman. You cannot glorify Lord Narsimhadev if we don't bring out the topic of Prahlad. So they are interconnected. So similarly, he's saying, now because you have asked about Parikshit Maharaj, so I have described you about Parikshit Maharaj, but actually it's the glorification of Lord Shri Krishna. Because the activities of the Lord are performed in relation with the devotees of the Lord. Therefore, the history of the devotees is non-different from the history of the activities of Lord. The devotee of the Lord regards both the activities of the Lord and those of his pure devotees on an equal level, for they are all transcendental. So, Hari Katha, Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. So just like Hari is Ananta, his Katha is Ananta, because his Katha also means his devotee's Katha. We'll do one more and then we can stop. या या कथा भागवता कथ्योनुरो कर्मणा गुणा कर्माश्रया पुंभी संशयवस्ता बुभुक्षुभि by those who want their own welfare. So here Sutta Goswami is saying, ya katha bhagavata kathyonorur karmanaha guna karmashraya pumbi sameshvasta shushuvi. Those who desire their own good, those who are bubhushubhi, what they should do, they should hear. What they should hear? Katha. They should hear Bhagavat Katha. Right? Somebody can read the translation so we can get the meaning of the words.
Mataji, those who are desirous of achieving complete perfection in life must submissively hear all topics that are connected with the transcendental activities and qualities of the personality of Godhead who acts wonderfully. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Madhuri. So those who are bhubhukshubi, those who wants their own welfare, what they should do? They should engage themselves in hearing Bhagavat Katha. And that Bhagavat Katha, about whom? About Krishna, who is Guna Karma, who is Kathain Oru Karmana, means his deeds, his karmana, they are Uru Karmana. They are great, they are wonderfully performed. So one should take shelter of Krishna Katha, those who wants their own welfare. So Prabhupada writes, the systematic hearing of the transcendental qualities, activities and names of Lord Shri Krishna pushes one towards eternal life. Systematic hearing means knowing him gradually in truth and fact. And this knowing him in truth and fact means attaining eternal life as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Such transcendental glorified activities of Lord Shri Krishna are prescribed remedy for counteracting the process of birth, death, old age and disease, which are considered to be material awards for the conditioned living entities. So if we want to get rid, see all other diseases that we have, we can still get rid of. But this is the disease which is very difficult to get rid of, and that is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. These are eternal diseases for all the living entities. And Prabhupada is giving the remedy to counteract these diseases. And what are those? And what is that process? That process is to be engaged in Krishna Katha, to always glorify the activities of Lord Shri Krishna. The culmination of such a perfectional stage of life of a who is the goal of human life and the attainment of transcendental bliss. So, our goal of human life is to simply do not engage ourselves or waste this human form of life in doing some gramya thing. So, what we have to do is we have to engage ourselves in hearing Krishna Katha. So, here Prabhupada is saying systematic hearing means knowing him gradually, not immediately, but gradually in truth and fact. And this knowing him in truth and fact means eternal life, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. So, what is that verse? Shaner Shaner Uparamet Buddhaya Dhriti Gritya Atma Samsthan Manha Kritva Na Kinchit Api Chintayet. Gradually, shane shane, gradual steps has to be taken, and with which one becomes dhira, one becomes, one's intelligence is fixed, and he attains the full conviction about the Supreme Lord. Buddhaya, the intelligence, is dhriti gritaya. It is fixed in the Supreme Lord. So manhakritva, and his mind is also fixed. Na kinchit api chintayat, and he doesn't have any chinta of anything else. He should not think of anything else. And that's what Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also says, that this means that one should be always connected with the transcendental activities of the Lord. One should not think anything else and simply waste one's time. Don't do anything else and simply waste one's time. But we should always be engaged in hearing the qualities of the personality of Godhead. And who can think? Those who are bububshubi, those who want their own welfare, those who want to get rid of this cycle of birth and death, want to get rid of these eternal diseases, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. They should do it. Those who want to stay and have plans to stay in this material world, well, they don't have to hear Krishna Katha. Because, anyways, we will be there in this world. But if we are really seeking for our own welfare, then the best thing is to engage in Krishna Katha, to hear about Lord Shri Krishna. Okay? So we'll end up here. Text 11, Rishaya Uju, means the sages now will ask further questions from Sutta Goswami, and that we will see on Thursday. So we'll stop here. Let's see if we have any quick comments, questions. I've seen so many chat messages. Okay, thank you, Praladananda Prabhu, for putting
Just
all these verses.
just posted those relevant slogans like that.
Very nice. Thank you. Tattenukampam susikshamano. Very nice. Vinaya vidaruddha dhinarasya dehin sarvasya tosu. Shravanti gayanti grinanti. Yes. Krishna tadya padapankaj. Swadhamo pagate dharma jnana vikalo nishtavasi. Yes. Anasakta vishaya. Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Yes, Rupal Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Quick question. So, Parikshit Maharaj, so when he got curse, he accepted because he also did, right? I don't remember if we discussed in the story what he did, right?
No, it will still come.
It will still come, right?
Because now so all the sages will ask this question, that what was the reason why Parikshit Maharaj was cursed by that Brahmana boy, that he will be killed by the Takshak bird. So now this entire pastime will come.
I was trying to correlate this with our life, like something happens to us, how easily it is to not blame and just accept that this is the destiny. Like we may not be wrong in life, and we like there is a thin line. We need to understand where to give up and where to surrender.
There is no thin line, Mataji.
No thin line.
No
Whatever
thin
happens, just surrender 100%.
Just surrender. No thin line.
So even if injustice is
even
there,
if injustice
we
is there, it's better to be surrendered, because that's going to cut our karmas. No need to retaliate. What's the point of retaliating? You can retaliate once, twice, you can prove yourself, but ultimately it's best to accept.
And one really wonderful point we learned that he gave up. He he detached from his family right away, and he went for his destination. Like he. So did someone guide him? Like Krishna guide him, or he just went
Of course, he's a Mahabhagavat. He's Mahabhagavat. He's always Krishna Parayana. So therefore, he doesn't need any guidance. Immediately, as soon as this message came to him, he immediately retired. He said, okay, that's it. Now 7 days are left. What all I can do. If he would have not been Krishna Parayana, if he would have been a materialistic devotee, a materialistic person, then definitely what materialistic person will do? Okay, I have 1 month, doctor has given me, so let me enjoy it to the fullest. The materialistic man will think like this. Let me go on vacation. Let me spend entire bank balance I have. Anyways, I'm going to die in 1 month. Doctor has given me the notice. But the devotee is not like that. The devotee, if being given this chance, will definitely leave everything and will try to search for the highest welfare so that he can attain Krishna. And that's what Parikshit Maharaj did. He immediately left his kingdom, his wife, his children, and he said, that's it, I'm done. And now he went in search of that somehow or other in 7 days I can perfect my life. And all the sages gave him lot of guidance, karma gyan, karma knowledge and jnana knowledge, ashtanga knowledge. And he said, I have only 7 days. I cannot do all these activities. It requires time. And then he met Srila Sukadev Goswami and he asked this question, and then Sukadev Goswami narrated this entire Srimad Bhagavatam.
Thank you, Mataji. So I had another question. So did he already knew that he is going to be the nimit for Srimad Bhagavatam?
No, he didn't do anything. He was in search of the eternal truth.
He himself was in search. And
He
then
was himself.
how old was he?
He was in his prime youth.
Oh, he was in maybe 20s.
Not 20s, but yeah, he was in his prime youth. That has been explained by Bhagavad.
And
he left everything.
And he had one son, yeah? He had one son, one kid.
No, 4 sons. In the previous chapter,
sons.
we read, right, the names of the sons also. He has 4 sons headed by Janmajaya.
And who was Janmajaya?
Janmajaya was the son of Parikshit Maharaj, the eldest son.
Headed by son. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Yes, Tulsi Gopi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I was remembering when in one of the purports Prabhupada said that about training the population by in the process of regularly hearing the glories of the Lord, which can keep Kali and its influence away. So I was just remembering many years ago when I had visited UAE, I saw that every gully mein there is mosque, and time to time people are going to do namaz, and then after that there is a class in their Arabic language for whatever 20 minutes to something, and no matter what anyone is doing, they are hearing, let's say they are weaving something or they are cleaning shop or whatever. So of course this is like in the mode of ignorance, those whatever their shastra is, but I was thinking even similarly in India or everywhere else, a really dharmic leader could implement the same concept. Like it's not impossible that how come we implement, because if today we can see the Arabic world or that Gulf and Middle East doing that to brainwash people, then why can't dharmic people do the same thing to guide them in devotion?
Very nice.
So I was thinking, like, if our leaders arrange that, how much it is possible? Schools have breaks everywhere. There will be breaks during, you could do twice a day or something like that. Even in our school, when the school started, we would have Saraswati Vandana. At the end of the school, we had Vande Mataram, this and that. ऐसे बीच बीच में 10 minute, read 1-2 shlokas and some summary of that could make the population so guide them in the right path.
Very nice.
The other
One
point,
thing, Mataji, that even in Prabhupada purports also we read today, that radio station can play some nice lectures, some
yes,
Maha
Mataji.
Mantra, right? And they are doing what they are doing, they are playing those mundane songs. Like in these days, we have FM, right?
Yes.
So all these can be used in Krishna's service. That's what even Prabhupada is pointing out. But thank you for sharing about UAE. I didn't know that they are doing all this. Very nice.
Yes, Mataji, means in that connection only, that when Prabhupada said the radio, how we could use technology and all these
Yes.
broadcasting stations and loudspeaker systems and all this. In that connection only, I was thinking that how people in the lower modes are using them to ruin the populations. We could use that in making the population devotees of Krishna. So,
Very nice.
and the other thought I had was that in connection with Rupal Mataji's question, that when a devotee when he goes through something like this, what I had heard is that the Krishna, when devotees go through reversals, it is for their glorification. But when we conditioned souls go through reversals, that is for our purification. So we go through not because it was not our mistake. Somehow, somewhere we had something to. So for us, it's our purification, and for pure devotee, it is their glorification. And when we are in a situation, the way we can not count retaliate or give it up is that if others are dependent on us, when something happens, injustice, we should do our duty to, let's say, report it to the cop or something. Like, we should do our duty to protect our dependents or whatever, but ultimately we should, if it doesn't get resolved, then we should leave it peacefully, that it was the reconcile it, that it was ultimately the will and sanction of the Lord.
Yeah, very true. The necessary steps from our part we can take, but then ultimately surrendering to Supreme Lord, that okay. And very nice you said that it is for our purification. So we should accept it. Our karmas are getting reduced, right? In that line we can understand. And it is for my purification only. Krishna wants to teach me some realization, some lessons he wants me, and therefore he has put me in such reversals. So accept it and move on.
Thank you, Mataji. I'm just saying it to tell myself only, because I have also failed, like you said. Sometimes I look back and I remember how sometimes I passed the test and how sometimes I failed. So I'm telling this to myself only. Thank you so much.
Definitely. But thank you for adding that. Yes.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, it was wonderful. It is when you are materialistic, it is difficult to give in and surrender. I observed.
Yeah.
Like you want to fight, you
Of
feel
course.
you can
Yeah.
you have capacity to fight.
But even Parikshit Maharaj has the full thing that he can counteract that curse. But he didn't. He accepted it as the will of the Lord.
Means I was also thinking that when Kali came and was attacking the cow and the bull, or he was about to influence Parikshit Maharaj, this is what I heard before, that he did not think, oh, this is the will of the Lord, let Kali do whatever he wants. He did his duty as a king to rectify and to keep the population guarded and all that. But then ultimately, when it came upon himself, when it came upon the overall population, he did his duty. But when it came upon himself, he accepted it quickly.
So that's what the point that you only mentioned, that when we have certain like dependence on us, then we should take necessary steps. But if something comes on us, then we should willfully accept it as the decision of the Supreme Lord.
Mataji, one small clarification.
Yeah, go
The
ahead.
Brahmin boy, he knows Vedas because he is having the capacity to curse. But the king has right on all his prajas. And he didn't do anything much, just that he was little annoyed and put a dead snake. But a boy who knows, Vedas, who can even curse, should he not think that it's the king who did it? And that's not the way to curse him.
That's what, like, he should think twice.
That's what Mataji. That is why I used to always think of this Brahmin boy. That means Kali has already taken over the Brahmin boy, I
That
guess.
is the real sense. Yes, Mataji. Kali has acted on that Brahmana boy.
Brahmana first. That is how Kali has taken over Kali Yuga, only through the Brahmana boy. Is it right? That's what I wanted to know. That's the way I look at it.
Yes, the real sense is this only, that Kali has entered in the brain of that Brahmana boy because the Brahmana boy was puffed off of his Vedic knowledge.
Vedic knowledge, yes, Mataji. That is the reason. Because when he can curse, that means he's very powerful. The fundamental rule is the king has all right over any praja to do certain things. And he didn't do anything much wrong that he put on dead snake. So that much, if that means the Kali's effect has already started on a Brahmana, but it started with an upper crust and then it descended down. So I was just thinking that.
Very nice. Yes, this is the sense of the future verses that will come. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, Praladananda Prabhu.
And Mataji, before I share my realization, I want to continue this. I also heard that Parikshit Maharaj was wearing the helmet, which was made of gold and which originally belonged to Bhim, who got it from Jarasandh. So when Jarasandh, that original belonged to Jarasandh, so that's how Kali had entered in that golden helmet, and that's how Parikshit.
Even I have heard this, Praladananda.
It's not authentic.
Yeah, even I heard this, that as soon as Parikshit Maharaj gave the 5th place, that you can reside in that gold, immediately Kali entered because Parikshit Maharaj himself was wearing a gold crown. But I couldn't validate this because
no, it's not validated.
Jiva Goswami or our Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, they have not commented on this.
Right.
That's why I don't want to comment unnecessary.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of, in Vedanti, it's people say like that, maybe concocted.
So we cannot validate this.
Right. So I just wanted to pass that. But the main thing I wanted to share was this slok number 4, No Uttam Slok Vartayam Justam Katham Shad Sambramantakaal Vismartam Tat Padam. So it very clearly sets our path that, if we dedicate our time, our life, whatever we can in Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, like that, in our sampradaya like that, then we'll have no problem actually.
Yes.
And cross-reference this with this Sruvanti Gayanti Grunanti Abhikshana Smaranti Nandati Tavehta Janaha. Tayo Pasyanti. This is Kunti's prayers. She also said that they will have no problem. So it very clearly tells the plan of action for all of us. I am just retired for last about 6 years or so. So I'm trying to implement this because this slok I read in 1988, and since then I memorized this slok because it's very kind of giving you definite pathway that this is your real duty to do. And if we follow this, then probably there will be no problem in remembering Lord Shri Krishna at the end of the life. So as much time we can do. Yesterday I was hearing Amarendra Prabhu. He says, anytime, every time, whichever name you like of Lord Shri Krishna, just keep on in touch with that name. Hare Nam, like. So this is a very beautiful slok. This, everyone should. I sing this slok every day, and I remember every day because it guides us. That what should we do every day. Like that. Thank you very much. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Praladananda Prabhu. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is guiding us. Yes, Nisha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much for such a nice class and the realizations and comments of the devotees. So sweet. Mataji, I had also heard that the Brahmin boy didn't know that it was Maharaj Parikshit. It was after he had cursed him that his father told him, "Do you know who you have cursed?" Is that true, or did he know?
Bhagavatam says that he knows. But I'll again double check as we will come across those verses. We can
Okay.
see. But those his friends actually came and told
Yes.
that his
So,
father is being garlanded by that dead snake. So
right.
even if he knows or not knows, I don't know. We can recheck it again. But the point is that before cursing, he should have
Yes. No,
thought
for
it,
sure.
made
Yes.
it
No,
sure
that
whom
point is
he's.
definitely
Yeah,
valid.
yeah. But
Thank you,
Kali has
Mataji.
acted upon that boy.
Right. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Okay, dear devotees, so we can end up here. Thank you all so much. Wish you all a very, very happy Krishna conscious day and week ahead. We'll meet you all on Thursday for the next. We'll start from verse number 11. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. All the assembled Vaishnavas की जय.